evening. First of what I hope might be many of these town hall meetings on this particular subject. But before the program begins, there's a few housekeeping items we need to clear up. The exits, the one you came, entrance you came in, that's the main exit. We have exits on my right and left. And the restrooms are, as you exit the courtroom, men's room is on the left, women's room is on the right. If everyone at this time would turn off or silence their cell phones, that would be appreciated. And I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to come to this meeting. And everybody's got busy schedules, but it's a very important topic of substance abuse in our community. And with that being said, I'd like to turn it over to Elma Town, Vice Principal at Iroquois School.
I'd like to thank you all for coming out this evening. We're overwhelmed by the response, so thank you very much. I'd like to thank Denny Powers for agreeing to host the meeting this evening at the Town Hall. We really appreciate that. And special thanks to all of our task force members who are here this evening, folks with the name tags, and you will get introduced to those folks later on. Just wanted to give you a very brief history of how we came to this evening. Last year, around this time at school, we started having discussions about our concerns about several issues with our students that we felt were related to substance abuse in some way. Attendance issues, grades slipping. We had some students who got arrested. We knew of some students who had definite substance abuse issues. Some were seeking treatment for it. Some students had successfully completed treatment programs, and unfortunately we had also had deaths from substance abuse, and even one death is too many. And in a brief period of time last year we had 4 that were Iroquois graduates. So at that point we decided that we're not going to just sit back and be reactive to this. We're going to do something. We're going to be proactive. So we sent letters out to all kinds of members of the community. We sent letters to all of our church representatives in the area. We sent it to businesses, our local governments, healthcare professionals, parents, anybody who we felt might be interested in attending our meeting. Our first meeting was held last February. We had to determine what our purpose was going to be. And came up with the idea that we were sort of, had several purposes. One being that we wanted to raise awareness in our community. Again, you'll hear this over and over again this evening. It's not just an Iroquois problem. This is a problem that is across our whole nation. But we wanted to be proactive in Iroquois. We wanted to help our kids. We wanted to save our kids. We wanted to help parents. So our purpose is to help parents be aware of resources and to let them know that there's a lot of people out there who are there for help and who care about the kids. We also wanted to do meetings like this to raise awareness, to let folks know what is available to them. We also are going to be hosting events on all 3 town calendars. So if you go to the website for Elma and Marilla at this point, I think we'll be posting substance-free events, drug and alcohol-free events for students. Some of them will be school dances, but also some of the various churches are organizing events for our youth. So you will see those events posted. Right now, the Wales website is down, but as soon as that gets up and running, events will also be posted on that. Later on this evening, after the last presentation, I'm just going to call up each of the members of our group to introduce themselves and just tell you what they do briefly so that you can relate a name and a face. So after the meeting, if you wanted to speak individually with any of these folks, then you could see them afterwards. And throughout the evening, after each of their speakers have given their presentation, we will entertain questions. Our students will pass out, I don't know, some of you already have orange pieces of paper. If you choose to write a question on there, the kids will come around and collect them in the basket, or if you're more comfortable with standing up, just asking the question outright, you're more than welcome to do that. We're honored to have Judge Joseph Sikowski as our moderator this evening, so I'm going to now hand it over to Judge Sikowski.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of seats up in front here, so if you want to come on in and take seats up in front, there's about 7 or 8 chairs in here. I also want to thank all of you for being here tonight, to welcome you to the Elma Town Hall. This is a very important evening. And before we get started, I just want to ask if we could just share a moment of silence for all of us to contemplate all our individual responsibilities as parents, public officials, and to think about those we may or may not know, but those who have suffered as a result of the tragedy of substance abuse in this community and all over. This is an evening tonight. It's about you, and most of you here are parents, and you are the protectors and the keepers of our most precious commodity. And I want all of you to understand that it's not our intention tonight to be talking at you, but we want to be able to talk with you. We want it to be an interactive experience, as well as an informal experience. And importantly, we want you to feel comfortable in asking whatever questions you need to ask about any situations that you want us to discuss. As a moderator, I'll make sure that every one of your questions will be taken and, if possible, answered tonight. So it's an important part of this event tonight, your questions. There's going to be 3 presentations tonight. The first one will be feature Alicia and her mom, Kim. Alicia is a graduate from Stepping Stones at Kids Escaping Drugs. And they are going to share their respective stories about Alicia's journey into drugs and her recovery. And secondly, the second presentation will be Trooper Joe DePlato and Colleen Edwards, the social worker at Iroquois. And they're going to present us with the reality of what is going on in our community concerning substance use and abuse. The third presentation will start off with a short video on victims of substance abuse overdose. And the mother of one of the victims, Debbie Kopaz, will share the story of her son, Brandon, who was a 2005 Iroquois graduate, and Brandon passed away last October. After each presentation, we have allotted time, as I said before, for questions, and you can write down the questions, and they'll be collected, I understand, in baskets that will be passed around, or you can raise your hand, whatever your preference. At the end of the presentation and at the end of the questions, we're asking that you complete a questionnaire, and this will help us evaluate this meeting, as well as letting us know what areas of concern you would like us to address at future meetings. So without further ado, I now would like to introduce you to Alicia and her mother, Kim.